Hey everyone, so yesterday I did a video on how to print and cut a designer handbag. So today I'm actually going to assemble it. I originally did another video on how to assemble it, but I didn't like how it came out. So I ditched that idea and I started over from scratch, and I figured out a way on how I would like to put it together. So some things you will need is I bought some magnets off of Amazon, and hopefully you can see that. And then I have foam board. And so the foam board, this foam board is for the base of it. And this measures 5 by 10. And I made my measurements according to how big I made my bag. And I also have the side panels for the bag, which I started off making this a 5 by 5 square, but then I wanted to add a little dimension to it. So I took the square and I cut it into this shape here. You see? So now you need 2 of these, and the bottom measures 5. I'm not sure what the measurements are for the side, but I actually made it inside my silhouette. So what I did was I just cut 1 inch off each of the top edges, and I drew my line from the point that I made from the inch in all the way down to the corner of this square. Okay, so you need 2 of these, and like I said, one of this, the base, which is 5 by 10, and I printed on poster board because I wanted to make it bigger than if I was to use a 12 by 12 sheet of paper or a 8.5 by 11. So I have my side panels to cover up my sides, and I have to cover up the base. Okay. And I have my printout. I printed 2 of these. I mirrored the other one, and I'm going to cut it out on my silhouette. And this is on poster board. I printed this out on poster board, and this measures 12 by 15. So you see my registration marks. Yeah, somewhere in there. But yeah, this page measures 12 by 15. And I have the other one, which is for the back. And you also need your hot glue gun, which I already have plugged up. I think that's it for now. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out my purse, and then I will be back. I have my bag all cut out. So here you go. You see this is the front and this is the back. As you notice, the tags are on 2 opposite sides. So when I flip this one over, this tag will now be on the same side as the front tag. All right, now let's assemble our bag. I wanted to show you guys how I cut the what I used to cut my foam board. And what I use is this straight edge cutter, bevel cutter, and it's made by Foam Works. And pretty much all you do is this little thing on the back you unscrew, and it comes out, and you just tighten it back up. So what I'm going to do is line up my foam board on the top, the one that I already cut to how I want it to be, and I'm just going to cut right along that edge. And you just take it and just cut it. Make sure it's on there even. And cut. And you want to keep your trash can handy right next to you, so that way you can clean as you go. Because you don't want to make double work for yourself. You don't want to make a mess, and then after you're done with your project, now you got to go and clean up. That's the same thing for life too. Life lesson. You want to always handle things right then and there, and don't just wait and let it just hold it all, everything inside of you, because it'll just pile up, and before long, you know, it's a big old mess. We don't want to do that with our crafting nor our lives. But anyway, back to this bag. All right, so we already cut our shape, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with this printout, this poster board printout. I have my what you call this thing, tape runner, and I'm just going to add tape along the edges or on the back of this, getting all the sides, and then I'm going to place this in the middle. As best as I can. All right, and just rub it down. So now you have that, and then we're just going to fold this over just to get our corners bent. Do it on all sides. And these are going to be our flaps to hold it onto our bag, just to keep our bag sturdy. All right, and we're going to repeat the same process with this one. I didn't use hot glue on this part because I want it to be as flat as possible on my side panels and on the bottom one as well. But I will use hot glue on, well, I think I might use hot glue on the flaps. Okay, we have that. Let's do our edges. All right, we have all our sides bent, so now let's do the bottom. Now, if you notice the bottom, I printed out bigger or wider than the actual foam board, and that's because I want two flaps. These are two flaps that's going to be on each side. So let me go ahead and let's see which side I want to be. Add our tape. And I'm probably overdoing it with the tape, but I'd rather have enough than not enough. This thing ain't going nowhere. So you want to center it as best as you can. And it's going to be lined up on the edge, on the two sides, these two ends, but you want to just line it up in the middle as best as you can. Alright, so we have that on there. And now we want to get we want to get our bag. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I forgot to fold my flaps. Okay, we have our flaps folded. And y'all, I promise you I'm figuring this out as I go. So let's see, I'm trying to see if I want to attach this first before I do the sides. Or do I want to do the sides? Okay, I'm going to do the sides. I'm going to add the sides on first before I do add the bag. Next time I would, let's see. Yeah, that's fine. I'm kind of gonna be like that at the bottom. Okay, so I'm just going to add, I'm trying to see if I want to use a hot glue or my tape. For this video I'm going to use the tape. I'm going to ditch the hot glue and just use the tape to make it a little bit faster. So I have the hot glue on there, and I'm just going to slide this piece underneath the bottom base, butt it up against the bottom, and press down. Do the same thing for the other side. Line it up as best as you can and press. Okay, and this is what it looks like on the bottom. Now I am going to put a little tape, because you see how these overlap. I'm going to put this, hold on 1 second. Yep. I'm going to put tape right here in this part, on this part, so I can glue it to this. Just enough to hold it in place on this side. Do that for all sides. Put your tape on first before you put it together on this part. And I'm getting tape out on my table. Okay, now we can put it together. Right there. And on this side. And then do the same thing for the opposite end. Alright, so we have those. Attached, and all we have to do now is put our bag on there. And something that I just noticed is that we don't need this flap at the top. Now, if I were to make a box where we're closed in the inside, I would need this flap. But for this one, I don't need that flap. So I'm just going to cut it off. Actually, nope. I'm not going to cut it off. I'm going to just fold it in the inside. Just like that. Alright, so we go back to our tape. Fold it in. To the other side. Fold it in and press. So now we have our flaps all the way around to attach our bag. And I hope y'all can see this. Okay, trying to find the camera view. So now I'm going to put my bag on here. Just like this. I'm going to attach the tape, well, put some tape here, here, and here. I almost want to put hot glue on this thing. Yep, I'm going to add some hot glue this time. Hold on. Yeah, I would add some hot glue just to make it sturdy. But before we do that, let me get our cover part for our magnets. So now that I have my cover up for my magnet, this measures 1.75 by 2, hold on, yeah, 1.75 by 2.5 inches. So I'm going to place some hot glue on the back of my magnet. And then I'm just going to place it about 1/2 inch from the top, right in the middle of my handle. And just let that dry. And then I am going to do the other side. Where is the other side? Oh, okay. But actually, let me go ahead and finish this. I'm going to put my cover up over this magnet. I haven't figured out the best way to do this to cover up the magnet yet, but this will work for now. And I'm going to just place it at the top, well, yeah, at the top of this purse handle. push it down on my magnet. Push it down. Around it. I think that's how I want it for now. Not too pretty, but I'll figure out a way to keep it on there somehow. As long as you can't see it on the top, as long as you can't see it over the top. Okay, and then we do the same thing for the other side. And I put a generous amount on there because I'm hoping that it'll stick very well. And here I go, putting my paper on there at the top. All right, so that is that for now. So we have our purse. Here's the sides, front or back, whichever side you want it to be. And this is what the bottom looks like. It can open and it can shut with the magnets, just like a real purse. So if you have any questions, just let me know. Hope this helps somebody. Bye. So some tips that I've learned when creating this is use your hot glue gun and not your tape runner. Use your hot glue gun. All right. And also your magnets, I learned that there's a North Pole and a South Pole. That's the correct terminology for it. I had to go look it up. But you want to make sure that they attract and not repel. Make sure that they stick together, because when I put my magnets on, I had two of the same sides and they were repelling. They wouldn't stick together. So you want to make sure you put it on correctly so that they do the magnet. Also, I placed it a 1/2 inch down in the video, but I went back and I put it all the way to the top, all the way to the top of the bag, so that way they can actually stick better. And instead of the big square, the ugly square that I had on there, I took that off and I just put a circle, cut out a circle to go on top of the magnet. So that's pretty much what I learned when I was in the process of making this. So that's it.